So I was just thinking, and I was feeling a little sad and aggravated. The information, the newer information that will actually confirmation that the gang stalkers, there's incentives, and there's supposedly some game that's kind of like Pokemon, where if they get pictures or they're able to verify your identity, they get certain monies or incentives or whatever. So this is a part of the thing with the curtains on the window. So I just tried it out, it was an experiment, and plus I just wanted to relax on my porch, chill. Like a lady, just relaxing on my porch, and if I wanna sit with my legs open or whatever, I can. Um and I already explained the fishbowl thing where they cut down all the trees so the housing complex over there can see into the porch with some effort, and how they chop down the trees next door so they can get a clearer view. And if I'm sitting here and they go over to the porch, right there is the only way that they can see me, because I had closed the curtains over there. But for some, anyway. So just look at the other videos on gang stalking and the neighbors, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So I tried the experiment and I put up the curtains on the porch. Listen to the last video that I did, um, where the love bite is upset because I put up the curtains. That's after getting verification that stalkers get monies for identification of their targeted individuals. Also been putting connections together with the nurses as mandated reporters, and the military. Um, so this is what I was remembering. The last time I had curtains up on this window was years ago. Um, Same thing. I just was feeling bad because but you don't have any verification. So I have put curtains and I have put shades on the window one time. They get old and stuff, and I have put curtains on the window another time. That's it. Yeah. So this time I think it was like curtains and shades. Yeah, I had shades and I had put the curtain on the door over there. So the next door neighbor, the old guy, Rusty, he comes walking through the backyard, and it surprised me because he came through my yard instead of coming through his. And he did this twice. Both times he did this, you could not see me. You could not see me on the porch. So now I put two and two together and I realize why. And any other time it's just a wave or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But now I realize why he made the effort to come through my backyard so that he could see me. Um, Also, the cars that be stopping and just looking outside your window, like if I'm sitting in the living room, sometimes there's cars or school buses or things, they're parked and they shouldn't really be parked in the area. And I was feeling some kind of way about it, but that's also a part of it, is they're just looking for verification, actually trying to look in my home to verify me through the window or in my backyard when I'm dancing or just spending time in my backyard. So this time that the neighbor came in my yard and saw me there when I had put up the curtains, I was practicing energy healing and not feeling very confident about it. So he comes to the yard with his cane and he said his knee was hurting. So I actually put my hands on his knee to do energy healing, to comfort him. And I remember when he went home, they were all laughing at me. There was a lot of hilarious laughter coming from the windows and stuff. Um, you know, a little bit of back and forth on the porch. And energetically, as an empath, I could tell that it was a big joke and it was really funny. And I couldn't figure out why at the time. It was confusing with my energy. Like, why would he come in my yard and then ask me, tell me his knee was hurting, and then I do that for him, and then make a joke out of me? It just didn't make sense because he's an elder. It didn't make sense that an elder would act so childish, and it reminded me of the school bullies and stuff. And then I was trying to separate them individually as elders, or like the daughter or the father and the wife, emotionally. Like, you know, the wife, maybe she's jealous and she doesn't want anyone close to her husband. The daughter, she's been taught to be insecure or whatever. You know, I was just making up things in my head. The grandmother, just weird, but I picked up big time that she was a witch. And then I started to realize that the grandfather, when I started looking at them outside of the cultural relevance that I was giving them and the stereotypes that I was putting in my own head, I started seeing witchcraft, bullying, things that weren't set right. Another time, the grandmother fell down the back stairs, and I was sitting on my porch, but it wasn't where you could see me. Of course, when she fell and she's yelling, I got off my porch and I went next door. I called the ambulance, and I had a blanket or something where I offered for her to put her head on if she wanted to move. But I suggested that she didn't. The weirdest thing, for years I was wondering about this, right? The weirdest thing was, they asked me where did I come from. Like, they were surprised that I was there. Like, and then they stopped talking to me after this happened. Like I did something to them. I thought that was so weird. There was a little bit of chit-chat, neighborly chit-chat, being nosy about things that I was making, because I'm always doing arts and crafts and stuff. Like I wove these crowns out of the flowers from the hedges in my backyard, planting flowers, starting a garden, things like that. You know, that they'd be a little, I would say nosy now, but before I thought they were just inquiring about. So there was a little bit of, I thought was friendly inquiry, until after the grandmother fell down the stairs, and then it got real weird. I was like, why are they acting like I did something to them? I literally would say hi like I used to, not knowing what they were. And he looked at me like I was a ghost or some kind of a evil person, and I was confused. I was confused, but I didn't know. Excuse me. They were working evil against me and doing witchcraft, doing gang stalking, and that the fact that one of them got hurt, or that they couldn't see me when they'd been spying on me and I didn't know it, made them feel very uncomfortable, threw them off their game. Now I can make the equations that I couldn't before. And the spiteful laughing out the window, and my internet cutting off when I'm doing my qigong, the monitoring of my Facebook. Like right now I got a chronic headache, so I'm assuming that those are energy weapons. It's been a lot of them lately, a lot of chronic headaches, you know. And if you're wondering why I don't go to the dentist, it's because of all this stuff going on. They make you not want to go to the doctors, the dentist, to trust any of them. You're isolated and you know what's going on. And the fact that it's so many of them and it's organized works for them. So the more you identify the program without knowing specifics and having additional information like FBI manuals and books from other people data from, what do you call those people? Whistleblowers, people who helped create the technology, who implemented the technology and used it on other targeted individuals, which is human trafficking. Because while I'm fighting all this and while I'm dealing with all this, they're messing with my credibility, deterring my efforts online to promote business, instigating paranoia and unfriendly atmosphere, stopping my links from working. Like, I was wondering why in 10 years, 8 years that I've been doing this, only one person donated to me. One. Why? Even when I put merchandise, I had a couple, very few sales. So the whole thing is made to make you feel discouraging, like you don't have any talents or abilities. And while they're discouraging you and deterring the monies that you could possibly be getting from connections with other people, building business relationships, credibility, you're spending part of your time informing people that this is happening to you. And while you're educating yourself, there's a learning curve that makes you look absolutely crazy. Because many people can't fathom that this is happening to other people. But it is, it's a real thing. The programming where most people are attracted to money and all this shiny-ish. So if you don't have those things because you weren't able to promote yourself well in business due to lack of connections and your internet cutting off and your links not working and you complaining about the invisible people, and the other thing they do is a smear campaign, which I've had done against me. Thanks, Sharon, all for the smear campaign. Her name is Keyshawn Williams, but that's probably not her real name. I don't really know. Because there's so many aliases and stuff. Sharon all, when she steals she steals people's efforts. Is kind of strange to have that name, but I'm learning through looking at a lot of the aliases that some of them like to play games with the avatar names that they give themselves and stuff, giving clue to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, what kind of a stupid name would they give? FBI, Bitter Bite or something, for an alias, and then come on a gang stalking app and say something like, I was one of the agents that was doing gang stalking and I felt really bad about it. So now, I want to inform people on some of the tactics and stuff. So, but what they're doing is the art of misinformation. So they'll mix part truth but lies. And they're also there to act like an expert witness for what it is to be a gang stalker. So any information that you have that is credible, they'll try to erase it. And what's happening is that happened more since I started to red flag and put people on blast that were actually gang stalking me. I've been watching for years, collecting evidence for years. I'm 52. They've been hurting me since I was a child. I got some story for you. This is nothing. This part I'm telling you is nothing. This is just the part where the Most High kept a promise and it's coming out. That I didn't have to be one of those people that live and die and not bring evidence as to the truth to the hidden hand that was perpetrating a fraud within their life. You can see this. All you got to do is actually look. And they got to come out their bag extra with a whole bunch of dumb stuff. Because I'm not playing along with their normal BS that they're doing on people, because I've been here too long. Yeah, so what else did I want to say? Basically, I just wanted to make those connections for public record on Rusty, the next door neighbor, the grandpa. He's Rusty. And I'm not sure if that's Angel's father or if it's Angel's wife's father. You know, if the grandparents live there, he lives there with his wife. He gives an aura like he's some kind of a warlock or wannabe warlock. The other guy that keeps chopping on the head, he definitely, with the muscle car, he definitely gives off that frequency like he messes with witchcraft and enjoys messing with people. And a matter of fact, through the listening devices, some of them have the ability to look at you and listen to you. And if I talk long enough to this MRFer, I actually get hit with the remote frequency weapons. If I talk enough about the next door neighbors and private through my devices, I get hit with energy weapons more. And they're within close proximity to me. Also, I was noticing how much heat I was getting when I'm near the love bite in my own house. That there are certain times I just feel like I was getting lit up. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember some conversation and some different things, and I'm thinking that might be it. And as I started talking out loud about it, it actually ceased a little bit when I said, "Are you hitting me with remote frequency weapons? A heat frequency signature? Really?" And then I was like looking, but they didn't look directly at me, and I'm talking out loud. You hear everything else. This life is very strange and surreal. If you're being gang stalked, much love to you and yours. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. I really wouldn't. That would mean that they are taken over and plagued by demons to have the capacity to just not care and put someone through something like this. Even if you thought that they did something in the past, is trying to drive somebody over the edge and make them kill themselves, or using remote frequency weapons and suicide signal and what is it? 1 second before we, let me put a little icing on this, okay? Let me put a little authenticity on this for those jokesters. I'm reading from Project Soul Catcher. Okay, suicide through torture and depression signals. Manchurian candidates.
Who you talking to, babe?
I'm making a video. Amplification of destructive behaviors and addiction pathways. Shutting down and stressing the subsystems. Heart failure, blood clots, and strokes. Moscow's remote-controlled heart attacks. These are weapons that they can use. Mentally integrated neuron duplicator called MIND. I think that's the acronym for that. The ghost in the machines and demons of destruction. We control your machine. We control your beliefs. The combination of using like hypnotism and cyber terrorism, taking over your devices, and along with terrorism. Alice, the Alice is also another one. Open source project includes 300 contributions from around the world. The main contributor and original author is Richard Wallace. Open source refers to projects that are open to the public and which draw on other projects that are freely available to the general public. Dr. Richard S. Wallace is the chairman of the board of co-founder of Alice Artificial Intelligence Foundation. I'm being hit with the heat weapon right now. This is how common it is for me, where I'm just gonna like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm being hit with a freaking energy frequency heat weapon. Global communication warfare, codename Gabriel. In Christian, Islam, and Jewish Bibles, the Archangel Gabriel is the messenger of God. Gabriel is the code name of the U.S. Global Communications War Instrument. Many researchers point to the finger at HARP and the many other giant phase arrays around the world. The angel Gabriel represents slightly different concepts of different tribes. He will realize how appropriate this name is for the integrated communication weapon system. Enoch 49 states that Gabriel presides over all that is powerful. And so, like I said, they utilize witchcraft, combination Vatican, orchestrated with the military and human service workers. I told him already I'm making a video. Now, they also have one called Christ. And, notice they keep mimicking biblical references, angels and things like that. Or things that refer to the brain, like the mind acronym that I stated already. I'm going to end this right now, but have I got some stories for you? Have I got some stories for you? Have I got some stories for you? Changing the narrative. This is Regina's Rabbit Hole, Siren Buddha Medicine. Much love to you, nurse. I'm out. If you can find it in yourself to want to donate to help me, not only with my research, but in trying to relocate and safeguard an environment for myself somewhere in the world, even if it's a tent and a bush, it's really that deep. Please help me at Life Coach 369A. Life Coach 369A. For all the effort and research that I've done over the years, for my effort for trying to inform you, for my effort for trying to look for a place for us, just to, even if it's a few trees where we could just meet up and get some peace, a meeting place, it would be lovely. Yeah. This hasn't been a good day, but it hasn't been a terrible one either. Give all victory to the Most High Yah. And I'm grateful for love that transcends time and space and flesh. Ashe, ashe, ashe.